Hey guys, it's Sam with 2M's and welcome to another MYXclusive interview. As you guys can see, I have a very, very special guest here with me, and I'm sure he is someone who has pierced all of your hearts with his incredibly touching but relatable songs like Say You Won't Let Go, Trainwreck, and his recently released track Medicine. Everyone, please welcome James Arthur. Woohoo!
Hello.
Hi, James. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course, we're so excited to have you here. But how have you been? How's life? I know things have been a little bit crazy everywhere in the world, but how have you been?
I've been good. I've been. I found a way to be productive in this crazy time. After a couple of months of doing not very much, like a lot of people,
Yeah.
I built myself a studio in my house.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and I just thought it's time. I can't sit around playing video games any longer. I need to start writing some music, and then made an album that I'm very happy and very proud of.
Yes, and I see that you've already experienced that awakening in quarantine, kind of after doing nothing or just kind of relaxing for a while. It's like,
Absolutely.
you want to start doing stuff. But we're so excited that you've been working on a lot of music because I can for sure say that your Filipino fans miss you. The last time that you were in the Philippines was like 2 years ago in 2019. So what do you remember most about that trip?
I just remember the love and the energy that I got from the Filipino fans. It you know, and I understand in the culture that music is so important and singing is so important, and it's cool to be accepted by your culture for my singing, because I know there's some amazing singers over there, and I just felt the love when I was there. I felt that they supported me, and it was cool.
Yeah, I was watching a video of like the last time you performed here, and the voices and the sounds like of everyone singing back to you was insane.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to have you back. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to come back.
Yeah, hopefully when everything's better, right? But for now, we would have to just wait for your music online, of course. But I'm sure you've spent a lot of time in the last year, kind of like everyone, reflecting, having a lot of introspection during this time. So what would you say was like the biggest thing you learned about yourself throughout this time?
That's a good question. Well, I think that for me personally, I had been working really hard for a long time, touring, traveling for a long time, which is an absolute blessing, and I can't complain about such a gift.
Of course.
But I think I personally needed a break, just for my sanity, and it was a good time for me to stop, probably. And I think, you know what, I think a lot of people learn in this time. You know, we all had a mirror held up to us as a society, and we were forced to, like you said, be introspective and look inwards and think about the things that really make us happy and the things that make us sad, and you know, it forced us to grab all of the positives out of life, and I certainly did that. And you know, a lot of the mental health issues that I was carrying around with me at the time, they kind of went away during the lockdown, because I really got to confront them and really look in the mirror and do some reflecting. So I kind of learned how to be more at peace with myself, really.
I love that you kind of like took the positive things in this life. You just really try to focus on those things, because I feel like, especially with everything that's been going on, I feel like it is kind of difficult to do just that, but it's cool that you were able to kind of do that. So what are the things, James, that you did to kind of keep everything in balance and kind of like really get to know this part of you?
Well, I've always known that for me, the best medicine, like the best way to
Ooh,
keep
medicine.
medicine. There we go. That's a good segue. Um, is to keep my mental health in check on a regular basis. Consistency is to get out and train, or to walk, or run. Exercise became a huge factor during the lockdown. It's a really
Oh,
boring
yeah.
answer, but you get those endorphins. It's like
Mhm.
immediately. It's the only thing that you can do where you get an immediate serotonin boost or whatever,
Yeah, for sure.
and like, yeah, I realized how important that was, how profoundly
Mhm.
important that was for me. And just, being creative. Like I said, the first 2 months I did nothing. I played video games, I ate Cheetos, you know what I mean? I was lazy. And then I
Yeah.
was like, and then it really made, and when I actually got in the studio and started writing songs again, it really hit me how important that is for me. So yeah,
Mhm.
again, another boring artist type answer, but yeah, just being creative is always the
Mhm.
way forward for me.
And exercise, like we were talking a
And
while
exercise.
ago. You just
Yeah.
came from a workout. I
I
told you
literally,
guys.
yeah, I literally jumped
Yeah.
off the treadmill. That's why my hair looks like this.
No, like I
Yeah.
said, I told him, guys, like to everyone watching, like James really has an after workout glow right now going for him. So, health, that's really important, especially nowadays too. So
You
it's
mean
cool that
I'm red? I'm red, basically.
no, but you look good. It's good.
Thanks.
We feel the endorphins and the serotonin. But you did
There we go.
mention, medicine, which is
There it is.
also the title of your newest track. Best segue. Thank you so much, James, for that.
You're
But
welcome. You're welcome.
um,
You're
I
dancing.
I was reading about medicine actually, and right before you actually got to create more music in the past year, you kind of went
Mhm.
through a lot of crazy stuff pre-pandemic too. You experienced a lot of things. I feel like that were also an awakening for you as a person. So could you take us through everything you were feeling that led up to you creating your newest album?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a long story, so
Mhm.
I'll try and condense it as much as I can.
Mhm.
But I started out in 2020. Um,
Mhm.
at the very beginning, I was raring to go. I was ready to go on tour.
Mhm.
So I embarked on a European tour, and then when I was on stage in Madrid, I had this like crazy panic attack while I was on
Mhm.
stage, this crazy anxiety attack, and it was really scary because I've suffered with panic attacks for a long time, but never when I was on stage,
Mhm.
when performing, maybe before a performance or afterwards, but never during. That was always the one place where it never got me, and
Mhm.
so it hit me when I was on stage to the point where I felt as though I literally had to get off stage. I had to cut the show short, and I don't know, it was a crazy thing. I kind of felt like I'd lost my mind on stage, and then after sort of overnight, after feeling ill, feeling physically sick, a doctor saw me, realized that they needed to rush me to hospital. There was something wrong
Mhm.
with my gallbladder.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
sounds pretty minor, but it was like
Mhm.
they had to remove it
Oh my god.
as a matter of emergency.
Mhm.
Otherwise, like, my life was in danger, and sort
Mhm.
of I had a bit of a health scare. So when you
Yeah.
have that, I think like you're forced to address everything about your life. You're forced to address the way you live in. I spent a week in a foreign country in a hospital, just
Mhm.
like, what am I doing with my life? Like,
Yeah.
and then I realized that I'd been sort of suppressing a lot of mental health stuff, a lot of maybe childhood trauma that I'd carried since I was
Mhm.
a kid. Anyway, so me and my management, we decided we needed to take a break,
Mhm.
and maybe I needed to go and get some therapy or whatever.
Mhm.
But I fought on, and I did this UK tour, so UK arena tour. I got through that, and then and I was like, cool, I'm back, I'm feeling good
Mhm.
again. And then it was global pandemic. Okay, we got to
Yeah.
stay inside. So I was like, okay, well, I guess it's back to square one. And then yeah, and then again a couple of months of me kind of doing some work, some therapy, and then
Mhm.
I realized that music was the best therapy for me. And this album came from this whole crazy journey with my mental health.
Yeah.
And I think it's the most personal and honest body of work I've ever made because of
Mhm.
that.
Oh, well, we love that. I mean, I can imagine like there were so many things happening to you, but you're able to share all of that through your music, which in turn can help other people who are also kind of experience the same thing deal with everything. So that's why I was wanted to talk about medicine because you mentioned
Mm.
that it's like an ode to self, like relationships and connection. So what
Yeah.
inspired medicine? Like, what's the story behind it?
Well, like I say, a lot of people realize what helps them through a dark time during this pandemic. I think during this lockdown. I don't know what it was like for you guys, but over here, like, yeah, we were locked down for a long time, and it really forced us to again try and grab the positives from life and realize who was there for us and who wasn't, whatever, and I felt like it was a cool message to be like a love letter to the people that lift us up and help us through a dark time, or even something that helps us through. It can be anything, whatever your thing is, music,
Yeah.
poetry, whatever it might be.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's kind of what it was, really, a simple song. It's a difficult one to explain because it kind of speaks for itself.
Mhm. Yeah, and I feel like that's what makes it very relatable to everyone
Mm.
all around the world. So how does it feel for you to have something so honest and kind of
It's a
autobiographical
tough one. It's a
out
hard one to
there?
say.
It's a really hard word. I just realized that now, out there, and
Yeah.
have millions of people kind of around the world relate to it.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's something I think I've always made a part of who I am as an artist. I've never really shied away from being brutally honest, and
Mhm.
I think if you want to move people or inspire people, or make them feel something, then you really have to go to the darkest places, um, or even the best places. But you have to be honest, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's difficult sometimes. It takes
Yeah.
courage, takes bravery
Yeah.
sometimes, but it's worth it if it helps one person that's maybe feeling like they could give up on life or something. Maybe if it helps that one person, then it's worth doing.
Mhm. That is so true. I feel like being honest with yourself is one of the hardest things to do
Super
ever
hard
for
to do. Yeah,
everyone.
it's
It's
the, it's the
so
worst, the
hard.
hardest. Yeah,
It's really also the worst. I totally know what you mean. In
yeah,
the last year, I feel like that's what we all had to experience. But I think this
sure.
makes people even more excited for the album that you've been working on and are so excited to talk about. So, can you tell us more about the album actually and what it was like working on it?
Yeah. Well, the main difference
Mhm.
between this album and my previous work is that, like I said, I did it all in my house, so there was a certain like comfortability factor in
Mhm.
it because I was in my own house, and 100% control straight from the heart. When you write songs, you have to make yourself vulnerable, and like we just talked about, you got to be brave and honest, and it made it even easier to do that because
Oh.
I was in my own house. So
Mhm.
I think that it's made for the most personal album that I've ever made and the most honest. So yeah, and I've also kind of changed genre a little bit. It's a little bit
Mhm.
more kind of trap, rock, hip hop influenced.
Mhm.
So yeah, because there's kind of like this movement happening with, I don't know, like MGK and
Mhm. Yes.
Post Malone and these
Mhm.
guys that are like, rock is making a comeback via trap and rappers and
I
this
agree.
kind of music, and I love that because it's kind of my roots, where I come from, and so
Mhm.
I kind of joined the movement and did my version of that style of music.
Oh my god, as someone who also grew up on that kind of music too, I'm
Mm,
so excited too to hear everything that you've done for this album. And I'm sure you tried out a lot of new things, like what you said, recording from your home and like kind
yeah.
of with this new sound. So how would you say that James Arthur is a different artist now as compared to like pre-pandemic James Arthur?
Um, I think I'm a more grown up artist now. I
Mhm.
think I think you can hear the evolution in the songwriting. Um, I think you can hear more of me,
Mhm.
authenticity. I think this album is the most cohesive album I've ever made, probably because,
Mhm.
again, because it was all in one place. And
Mhm.
usually I travel to LA and write some songs, and then I go around London and write some songs in different places. So um, yeah, I think it's just maybe I wouldn't say complete. I'm the
Mhm.
complete artist now, but I'm at the top of my game, I think.
Ooh, and we love that. We love that kind of growth in an artist, especially like someone like you, James, who's very honest with their music. So we can't wait to hear the album too and everything else that you've been working on. But before I let you go, do you have a message to all of your Filipino fans who miss you and can't wait to see you whenever the time is right?
I just want to say thank you as always for showing support and showing love. And I had a blast when I came over there a couple of years ago, so I can't wait to come back. Like that's going to be a dream to come back there and do another gig for you guys. And yeah, just thank you for the support.
Yes, and we can't wait to have you back over here, James. We can't wait till we get to sing back to you whenever the time is proper and when everything is okay. But for now, we will have to savor everything that you put out online. So, guys, make sure to tune in to James Arthur's new music, especially Medicine. It's out on multiple digital streaming platforms. And once again, thank you so much, James, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Sam.
Yes, you too, Jay. So take care and take care also to everyone who is watching and tuning into
Yeah.
this MYXclusive interview. Once again, this has been Sam with two M's and James Arthur.